Ghanatube, so I was in formatting CD and not just saying some. I would be a coso ewo or my gani meeting pano. Ye bobo room near Rockety in sending me say a bar, not near Cowan media twice or Eddie amount.
About the defense ministry, and of course it will remind us of our sad story that happened in August about the helicopter crash when our defense minister sadly lost his life. But let's talk about an appointment, because Reverend, could you?
No, I was looking at your beautiful hair and I thought we could do the hair first before we go to the Ministry for Defense. Your hair is quite important, so by the way, it's fine. Let's go to
we've come up with the Defense Ministry. Shall we stay with it? Okay. So, Reverend Tim Fojo has just also drawn the country's attention to the fact that the president or the government has not appointed a new defense minister. One of the questions I want to put to you, my guest this morning, is why does it always look very difficult or manual to lift a deputy minister to the role of a substantive minister? And this will be a case study where, because we have the finance minister now acting as the defense minister when we already had a deputy defense minister. What are the nuances? You are a member of parliament. Maybe you hear things on the corridors of power. Why is it difficult?
Well, so one is because it's constitutional. The minister of state is not the same as the deputy minister of state, and you are appointing the deputy minister to assist the minister. So the minister of state performs certain functions. Those functions are exclusively his or her to perform. They may delegate some functions to be performed by the deputy minister. But in the scheme of things, you cannot play the role of a minister if you're a deputy minister. So you see that more often you see a minister traveling, or a certain minister is indisposed, the president will appoint a caretaker minister. Now, the simple things that the president, like in this particular case, should have just appointed the deputy minister or any other person to assume, so that once the deputy minister becomes a minister, he or she can perform the function of the minister. So it is that whole arrangement. I even advocated during this recent constitutional review process that, look, there is no need appointing a deputy minister when the deputy minister cannot function as a minister in the absence of the substantive minister. You better let it be the minister and then probably the special assistant or probably the chief directors of the ministries. Because how will it look like if a minister of state has traveled, I'm a deputy minister and I cannot do anything? Virtually, they have to bring a different minister. And there's also another thing. Only cabinet ministers will act for cabinet minister. For instance,
but why can't you also tweak the constitution to say when the minister is indisposed, the deputy becomes automatically?
No, that cannot happen, because you are basically clipping the wings of the president, his powers to appoint and to disappoint. Okay, if you make it that automatic, it's going to be very chaotic. How will we look if I even conspire to kill my minister? You get it? It is not going to augur well. I mean, when you are contemplating certain things, you don't make...
But we just say act until the president appoints.
No. So if you say act until the president appoints, basically the president will mean I'm also just a step away from being the minister.
Okay.
And you see, I also understand the intention behind the fact that you make deputy ministers to be too subservient to the minister, because they don't want it to be, power play and robbing each other and what have you. So it is a whole constitutional issue. But I also think that a deputy minister should have the capacity of being a minister, such that when there's such a situation, the president can easily say, let me appoint the person to be the minister. Or he quickly gets a replacement, because it doesn't look well when your government is ongoing and about 3 months, 4 months. It happened in June, right? August.
Yeah.
Almost 3 months down the line, you are still struggling to get a minister to replace it. And that is the whole issue about Reverend. And I remember when the president was making his appointment, I made a comment which was misconstrued. I said that if the president is serious about this country, the first appointment he will make is the Minister for National Security. People will say, oh, what do that? He doesn't need national security. They say national security coordinator, what have you. I was very firm and emphatic on my position that the first and foremost appointment you need to make as a president is the minister responsible for national security. I mean, I was vindicated later on when the president realized that because the National Security Act requires that, he appointed Honorable Muntaka Mohammed as the minister responsible for national security in addition to the interior. Okay, so now they have added him the minister responsible for who other minister passed on, Limuna, right? No, it was the national security coordinator. Defense was also part of environment. He's the caretaker minister for environment now, right?
The environment.
The lands minister is
land minister. Sorry, so lands minister. So this is the arrangement, and that's the difficulty, though. The reason why government finds it difficult to. I think the constitutional review process should take into consideration this fact that the minister of state the deputy minister should have the capacity to act as a minister in the absence of the minister.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will not make sense for me that my boss is not around. I know deputy CEOs. Of course, could be about that could amount to trivializing the issue if I are limited to it, because deputy CEOs are not same as ministers. But I know deputy CEOs. There are some they act in the absence of the CEOs. So if you take the minister as a corporate body, you must as well think that maybe in the absence of the minister, the deputy minister should be able to act. But there's a problem. The delay raised by Honorable Intim Fujo is also important. Why is the president delaying on this matter? I mean, is it that, especially there are even people in the government looking for the job to do? You get it? I mean, there are people there are a lot of people who are still disappointed because they didn't get an appointment. It's normal. It's not just peculiar to this government. It's normal that in any government form, after us, people will be disappointed. So this is an opportunity for you to fill that particular void. Government business is moving on smoothly. Then you're also getting to address the concerns of the people who help you win power. And there's no reason whatsoever the president that this unnecessary delay could only amount to two indecision. The president is afraid, or he's not sure of who to give it to. Maybe among the many people wanting or vying for it or lobbying for it is still unsure or not certain as to which of them or amongst the lot should I give it to. And that is clearly a factor of the president being indecisive in this particular matter, in the matter of the appointment of replacement for the demised ministers of state. Or the president is clear, but there is some power play somewhere. Either some party bigwigs are trying to torpedo the process or trying to determine who they want to fill the vacancy, and the interest of keeping the harmony of the party and not be seen that they are fighting amongst them. The president can be a bit hesitant in trying to get the replacement for that. But in whatever the president does, the cardinal interest should be the interest of the good people of Ghana, because that is the oath you swore to protect the interest of the people of Ghana, not the interest of the NDC or any person or any power player anywhere. So I think that whatever the impediments are, the president would have to, in the matter Parliament has resumed. I mean, if he brings it, Parliament will approve it the next moment after we are sure that the Minister of State so appointed meets the requisite qualification. So I agree with Honorable Intim Fujo that the president delay, it doesn't send a good signal of his control, doesn't send a good signal of his readiness, it doesn't send a good signal of his capacity to take decisions on when it so matters.
Okay, all right.
Maybe Vicky.
Yeah.
Maybe
All right.
Maybe Vicky.
Yeah.
Maybe you never know. He believes that the apparatus as we have it already is enough. So he doesn't think it's an
I would
emergency.
be surprised if it's left vacant for the rest of the president's tenure. It is one of the key ministries of state, a very key one. And increasingly so, even more so, I should say, in this day and age of all sorts of defense and security issues. So I would like to think that it's not a vacancy that will be left like that for any much longer than we already have. I mean, look, a defense minister, it's a that position is a position that any president has to think about very, very carefully.
Yes.
You know, for all sorts of reasons. I mean, of course, they think about all their appointments very critically, but this one in particular has its own peculiarities. That's things like national security and all of that. So I'm sure that, you know, I would like, I'm sure any president is concerned about these things, and I'm sure the president is aware of all the security and defense issues going on all over around us and elsewhere. So maybe we should now, Parliament has resumed, and let's just be a little bit more patient. But I do agree that it needs to be filled as soon as possible. Yeah. Sooner rather than later.
The president is also looking at who do I put there.
Yes, it's a very critical position.
I can really trust. Yeah. You remember President Kufuor left his brother there?
Yes, throughout.
Yeah, President Kufuor came, also left one of his young people. What was his name? How can I forget? Nitu. For 8 years.
Yeah.
Never changed him. Yeah. So I think the defense ministry says that you're looking at who can I live my life to, that I know that I can sleep.
I think it's in the president's interest to then out.
The president can give it to Lordina Mahama.
As a defense minister.
Yes. I mean,
the first lady.
Why can it not happen? The first lady is not
I've never seen it before.
About it, right? But you just mentioned that somebody appointed a brother.
Oh yes.
That's
So
that's different from your wife.
Yeah, I think the best person you can talk about maybe could be Joyce Bawa Mukhtar.
Because I mean, you know, your spouse has your back anyway.
Yeah.
Would that be more tightly defended?
Yeah, that would be a more.
That's a different kind of role. And it's a very important and critical role.
Okay.
I hear people speak fondly about Dr. Adokufo and what he did at the defense ministry.
Yeah, so they actually called him defense. Yeah. People just drop his name and just call him defense.
I was here for me now, my sister Mudi Mechi, equity in some air coso, a war or manganimu, way dear, Midimubesi, and so many major comments. No. Emma me our comments actually that would drink ewan sending now no for our comments in the Ebra and Magic Bread I can kind Ama will fefe make I will be search channel way Ghanatube. So don't forget to subscribe, hit on the notification bell, share and like all our videos. I was here for snowy day. Sisi dear, Macram.